My bit tonight is about mental health. And I wanted to give you guys a fair warning about that because not everybody is comfortable with that. And so if you want to step out for a moment, I'm not going to take any offense to it. Honestly, I can't see anything that goes on. Maybe everybody's left. Some people say that mental health is so important that we shouldn't joke about it. But I think that humor is a way by which we can approach very difficult concepts. Like, for example, take the show The Office. It's all about a guy who wants to fuck the secretary. And I think that really helped us as a nation forgive Bill Clinton. But mental health is serious. Mental health is serious. And so I want to joke about it, but I want to do it in a careful way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce a dynamic for this show. So when I'm over here by the stand in the chair, that's when I'm being serious. And I'm telling the truth here. And then when I'm over here, I'm being my silly, goofy self. And, don't take mental health advice from this guy. So, yeah, let's do an example. So, if you struggle with mental health, please know that there are resources available to you. Cook Counseling is very good. And then there are other therapists in the area. And then over here, I'm joking, and I say, I don't know why you would ever pay for psychiatric drugs when vodka is $9 a bottle. Got it? Good. All right, so I struggle with mental health problems. And I know what you're thinking. But your main hobby is getting approval from strangers. If that's not mentally healthy, I don't know what is. I know, I was shocked too. But yeah, so I deal with depression and I am passively suicidal. Now what that means is that I treat suicide the same way I treat appetizers. I'm not actively looking for it, but if everybody else at the table is going to kill themselves, I'm not going to be left out. I am not an active threat to myself or others. You can put that straitjacket away. I see you back there. I will take the tranquilizer though, because that's that good shit. I want to say I am in therapy now. I'm getting help for it. And I gotta say, when it comes to therapy, I am killing it. Now obviously, I treat my stand-up a little bit like a therapy session, but I also treat my therapy sessions like stand-up. I'm getting the therapist laughing. I'm over here like, and then my dad said, that's not my son, that's a disappointment. You don't have to laugh at that. She called it a breakthrough, so. Now you should know, if you're thinking about doing therapy, you do have to do something called an intake first. Now what that is that's where you go in and you tell somebody about all of your problems. And if you're like me, you're saying things that you've never said to anybody before. And you're on the verge of a breakdown. And they look at you and they say, so will 2 weeks for Wednesday work for your first session? Doc, you're just gonna send me out there after that? Can't you prescribe me some Valium or a lobotomy or something? Yeah. My favorite part of therapy is the therapy dogs. Love the therapy dogs. I love it because it shows that despite all of our advances in science, there's still nothing better for our mental health than rubbing a fuzzy animal. I'll be in there, I'm just been having a really hard time lately. Don't really like who I am, and oh my God, hi Dougie! Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Maybe I'm a good boy too. All right, thanks Doc, I'm cured. Now at my previous university, I did something called group therapy. That's where a lot of people have therapy at the same time, to save on time and money and stuff. And I really got to hand it to the group therapist, because usually if you get that many depressed people together, it turns into a death cult or a shitty Fall Out Boy cover band. And that does lead to a very fun interaction where you see somebody from group outside a group, and you gotta act like you don't know each other. It's like in spy movies, when two spies know each other, but they can't let it on. It's like, if anybody finds out that both of us are mentally ill, this whole operation is blown. Yeah. I've done some jokes tonight. I hope that I haven't offended anybody who's mentally ill. That's not my intention. You know, I care about, you know, not upsetting people who are mentally ill. It's just, I care less than upsetting people who are mentally well because the consequences are less. Like, think about it. If you upset somebody who's mentally well, they might yell at you after the show. They might yell at you during the show. They might go on social media and try to cancel you. If you upset somebody who's mentally ill, all they do is mention you in their suicide note. It's a joke, that's a joke. I want to make it clear, you know, if you are struggling with stuff, you need to, you know, get some help, take care of yourself. And that was a joke. I do care about the well-being of my audience. I mean, not to mention, if one of my audience members were to kill themselves, my career as a comedian would explode. Oh my God, can you imagine? Charlie, imagine you go into class on Monday and somebody comes up to you and they say, hey, Jeff went to a comedy show, the comedian told a joke, and he killed himself. Be like, oh my God, that's terrible. What was the joke? It'd be all over the evening news. You've heard of dying from laughter, but one comedian took that too far. The exclusive interview tonight at 9. Hell, I could probably get my own Netflix special from that, call it like Dead Silenced or something. Go up there, I'm like, you make one guy kill himself and the libs try to cancel you. Like George Washington never made anybody kill himself. And I am going to do that pose for the Netflix special. You're going to see it in a few years. All right. Serious time again. Let me remember what I wrote down. If you take anything from my bit tonight, I want you to know that life is worth living. Both for like the great things in life and also for all of these small, wonderful things, you know, like the sunset over the mountains or making the perfect peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And if that's not doing it for you, I am a huge proponent of living out of spite. I have done it on many occasions. You know, I think it's very helpful. Now you might think it's like life is hard, it's rough, but you know what? There's no way I'm gonna let that bitch-ass comedian Andrew benefit from my death. All right, you guys have been great. That is my time as, you know, doing my bit. Now I'm going off script again. Up next, we have our wonderful president of the Comedy Conglomerate. As president, that means she approves of absolutely everything that we say tonight and takes full responsibility for it. She's also very funny. Please welcome to the stage, Sage.
Oh my goodness, that's not true.